Welcome to the Riser Virtual Cheese Wars 2025, showcasing the best in British cheese. I'm Jonathan Piercy, and I'll be trying my best to moderate this session and keep these two lovely people in check. We will be judging the category that is cow's milk soft cheese, which is category F9. And I will allow the wonderful Jane and Tanny to introduce themselves to you. So, Jane, let's go.
Hi, I'm Jane, and I recently came back to my family dairy farm and cheese making business. We milk cows, and we make cheese, cloth bound cheddar called Quicks. And I have been judging at the World Cheese Awards last year. This is my first time judging at the Virtual Cheese Awards, but I am very, very practiced at grading our cheddar.
Yeah. And Tanny, over to you, sir.
Hi, I'm Tanny Gill. I've spent the last 20 years in the British cheese industry. Started my journey with making the Alumel cheddar. I've over the years been actively involved with various cheese judgings, virtual cheese awards, world cheese, British cheese. I'm based in Glasgow, and we supply the Scottish market with best of British and European cheeses. Thank you.
Amazing. So plenty of experience between these two wonderful guys. Well, guys and girls. The judges will use a system of marking each cheese out of 10 on 4 attributes. So that is appearance, aroma, texture, and flavor. And then at the end of it, we will look and we will see which cheese or cheeses are the highest scoring, and they will go through to the best category stage finals on June the 10th. So without further ado, let's get eating. Well, I'm not eating, you guys are eating, but let's get started. So get stuck in, guys.
Appearance looks lovely. Kind of a wash rind, semi-wash rind cheese looks like. You know, can see an element of moistness on the rind on one side, a slight element of dryness, but it looks a bit of age on it. Quite nice, gentle lactic aroma on it. So, looks all in all looks quite good. Kind of lovely aging on the rind, so that looks quite nice too again.
Yeah, beautiful at the back. This,
yeah,
like that. I don't know if you can
that's
see
beautiful.
Oh, nice,
absolutely nice character.
And yeah, so there is a slight kind of a different moisture level across the rind. So on one side it's much drier than the other side. On the other side, you've got that characteristic orange of a washed rind cheese. That I believe is a bee linens kind of thing going on, although I'm sure there's other things happening there too. And then there's just under the rind, we've got that proteolysis and the breakdown of the fat as well.
Nice. Yeah, you can see that really well on the camera, actually.
Does, yeah, the lovely.
Nice.
Nice kind of combination of the meaty lactic notes coming together. You can feel that meatiness coming from the wash rind element. I think it'll be a different cheese if you don't eat the rind. You'll have to have it together. It's easy when the cheese is so tall and big, but very nice. Lovely vegetal notes to it. Must be a vegetarian. I'm not sure, but nice.
Such a good word, that, ain't it? Vegetal. I love that word.
Quite nice. All in all, I think the aroma is not too pungent, so which is, again, for somebody who doesn't eat pungent cheeses or pungent aroma, that's quite nice. Good way to start looking at it. But all in all, quite nice, quite pleasant. Taste-wise, also quite clean. Don't get any bitterness or any kind of aftertaste. What do you think, Jane?
I think so. I get a very slight bitterness just on the rind,
On the
just
rind,
very
yeah.
slight, yeah. On the orange bit, the bit that's a bit more moist, I'm getting very slight ammonia kind of flavor, smell, aroma. But on the drier bit, none of that really, almost none of that at all. And then, as Tony said, very fresh aroma in the middle there. And certainly vegetal is a word I would use as well. Quite a salty paste
It is
Yeah.
salty,
on the flavour.
quite well. I think the salt is also quite well balanced.
But
You're
imbalanced, certainly.
not feeling it's taking you away to the extreme of, no, it's quite nice, well balanced, clean. I like that ripeness in it. So it gives you almost varied textures of, the patty in the middle, which is quite chalky and it's got a bite to it, the creaminess on the side, and the rind gives its own character. So there's loads happening with the texture on the palate, which is quite nice. Otherwise, it can become quite soft.
Yeah.
Good cheese, all in all. I mean, I may be wrong with my little knowledge of understanding wash rind. So clearly, that's a sign when you see that lovely orangeness,
Yeah.
either not being turned compared to the side this, which is dried out too much. So maybe it's sitting on and not being turned, so you have that moisture being caught in there. But all in all, good cheese.
So what do we think score-wise on appearance then?
I think it's pretty good looking in what it is, a wash rind, and the fact that it's been cut and traveled all this way. I'd be very happy with the 8 or a 9 on it. I mean, what do you think, Jane?
Yeah, I would say I think it's very beautiful. And then I would say the only thing that might let itself down on just the cheesemaker's intention is potentially just that slight inconsistency with the moisture.
Right.
That gives us gives us that variation. So
Yeah.
I think its beauty definitely holds it up, I think. So yeah, an 8 or a 9 I'd be happy with. An 8 maybe.
Yeah.
8, yeah.
Go ahead, yeah. 8.
Lovely stuff. And then aroma.
Again, I think it's quite a clean aroma for what it is. There's nothing, it's not too pungent.
Yeah. It's a tricky one because I can't fault it, but I'm also not like, wow, that aroma
Yeah.
is amazing, because
Yeah.
it's very subtle and it's slight. So I don't know what the right thing to do there would be.
So would you expect more from it given the style of cheese it is?
Potentially.
Yeah, it could be. Also, I'm kind of thinking, the texture is quite kind of chalky to ripe, and it's still probably semi-ripe. I don't know, but aroma for what it is, I think seems quite good. I mean, a 6, 7 would be a fair change.
Yeah, I would say 7. Let's go with
7?
it was
Yeah. Lovely. And then texture.
Very lovely texture.
Yeah. There's like a lightness, a fluffiness
Everything.
across both the broken down part just under the rind as well as the more chalky part. It still has this fluffy, light
Nice.
mouthfeel and texture, which I love.
Very nice. I'll happily go with a 9 for the texture.
Yeah.
9. Let's go with 9.
Lovely. You guys are agreeing. This is fantastic. And then flavor.
Quite good actually. I'm actually quite impressed. I thought the quite balanced, salt's quite balanced. Generally, as Jane said earlier, the texture is really complementing it very well. With gives you enough bite, but loads of flavor. A small hint of bitterness, but it's, I think on the whole quite nice and clean, lovely finish to it. I'd be happy with an 8 on the flavor. I don't know, Jane, what do you think? Don't let me push you on numbers.
Yeah, so that one, I think, I do get some bitter just with the rind, which I mean, it's not, I think it is all in balance. So I wouldn't say that there's any particular attribute that is, that's really letting it down in any way. But I would say that perhaps for me, there's just a teeny bit more bitter than I would ideally like. But it's not to say that it's not in balance. So
Yeah.
tricky. So 7 or 8, I
Yeah.
would be.
Are you
Let's
happy
go
to
with
meet
7.
7? Yeah, you could
Yeah.
meet at 8. If you said 7 or 8 and you said 8 or 9, 10, you could always meet at 8.
We can
8,
meet at
yeah.
8. Why don't we meet at 8?
8,
Let's go
yeah?
for it. Okay.
Okay, lovely. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we are on to our next cheese then, guys, which is 1044.
One, zero.
F91044, sorry. Jane's smiling. I wonder if that's a good thing.
I think it's so difficult for these soft cheeses to travel,
Yeah.
isn't it? I
Yeah.
think we should not judge that
No,
element.
I think,
True,
yeah, we
absolutely.
definitely try not to take any sort of transit stuff as part of the judgment because it's kind of the nature, and they travel twice as well, so it's
Yes, of course, yeah.
kind of the nature of the beast with that side of it.
Appearance wise, yeah, looks like a soft, bloomy, nice. Looks good.
Nice.
Nice kind of mold growth on it. Fluffy.
Yeah. Slight, yeah. At the corners, it's a slight dipping in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same for you.
Yeah, it's kind of slightly caved in,
Right, yeah.
but I think
Very-
probably is the nature of the cheese that it is quite nice and lovely kind of ripeness on it. If you can see it,
Mhm.
it's all the way through, very
Yeah.
consistent on the pate.
Oh, can you see that?
So,
Yeah.
looks good. It's holding a shape for what it is. Very delicate aroma.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think now I want to taste it just looking at your reaction. The creamy, isn't it?
So creamy, so rich. Wow, and it's very
But
homogeneous in a way that I love, all the way through the paste. Very the same, consistent. It's like
it's beautiful actually. Quite nice. Quite unique also.
butter,
Sorry, on you go.
like butter.
It's butter. It's like butter. Absolutely. Like rich, triple
Oh,
cream style.
amazing.
Really nice.
I
Really nice.
mean, I ate a lot of cheese this morning, but I really want to try that one now. Like,
Yeah. No, and I think that's why you can see how it's holding its shape also together. I think something like this would never, you can see even after a bite, it's kind of quite gooey, but it'll never kind of run like a runny brie. It'll
yeah,
just go and sit there like a
yeah.
melted raclette. But no, it's great, really good, very good. So what do you think, Jane? Appearance?
Yeah, appearance, I think it very much as you would expect for fluffy and some you can see where it's been on the rack or the straw.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Are we scoring at this point?
Yes, let's go for it.
So I mean, yeah, 9 or 10. I
Yeah.
can't beat it
I'd go with,
really.
yeah, I'd go with a 9 for what it is. Really good.
Yep. Lovely. And aroma, what are we thinking?
I think for what it is, that creamy, buttery, it's very difficult to get anything else out of it. It's quite kind of very gentle, very lightly lactic on an aroma, and I think I think that is what the cheese is because of its creamy nature. I could be totally wrong. I'd be happy with another 8 or 9 on that. What do you think, Jane?
Yeah, very slightly. You know, there is a very slight that ammonia smell, which is normal to be expected in
Yeah.
not a fault necessarily. And yeah, so a 9, 8.
A 9, yeah?
Yeah,
9.
9.
And we are on to the texture, which I'm assuming you both quite enjoyed.
Yeah, like 10. I think.
I'm just going to give it a 10 because of Jane's reaction. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, 10. Love it. And then flavor.
Again, very nice. Clean after, in spite of all that, in spite of the butteriness, the finish is very clean on the palate. You don't feel greasy. You don't feel lazy palate after eating that rich, very nice, light. I would be happy with another 9 or a 10 for flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's doing the job very much. I think the only thing, just if you only have a tiny bit of the rind, there is just a very small hint of saponification, I think. Very, very small. So yeah, and that's the only fault I can find at all. So not that I'm looking for faults.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what you're here to do. You're judging. That's a
Yeah, so a 9.
a 9, yeah?
Yeah.
My other question is, could you eat a whole one?
Yeah, don't challenge me. I have a piece to eat today.
Okay, so next cheese then, guys. We are on to F9 1045.
Oh, wow. I think
Is it smoked?
this is smoked yet from the same family. Looks like you can see that a
I'm
lot.
just gonna pause this for 1 second.
Yeah.
2, 3.
And
Okay, so what we're thinking on the look, guys? How you said? Did you say you think it's a smoked one?
I think it's a smoked, yeah. I mean, you can see a lot of coloration, but I think that's because it's smoked. You getting that kind of also feels like it's one-sided smoke, so it's probably in the smoker sitting on the rack, and it's coming as it's rising because the other side is super kind of clean almost. So that'd
Yeah,
be
it's the same for mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is, it's interesting, like quite dappled smoke, even on the smoke side. It's this, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
a little patchy. It's interesting, and I've never tried smoking a bloomy rind cheese, so I have no idea about the challenges that
Oh God, yeah.
yeah.
I think is it not what they say is you got to cold smoke it. So it's like once you finish off, you got to then
Yeah.
because the heat will completely ruin the cheese, but also it
Yeah.
just needs to be sitting there kind of thing.
If we smoke cheese too hot, like on a hot day, and the smoke doesn't cool down enough, we get what we call low fat cheese. All the oil drops out.
That's interesting. And I wonder what kind of effect smoking has on it from the ripeness aspect of it. Because on the cut, you can almost see the collapse of the pate and the rind almost. But all in all, the smoke seems very light, very, very light. Don't,
So you're not getting much of it on the nose,
not on the nose, even one on the cut, you don't hardly get any. So
right?
Also, I feel, again, this is smoked, but compared to the previous one, this is slightly underripe. So,
Right.
whereas the previous one, it was very gooey, very buttery, silky, and soft, whereas this has the chalkiness in it, where you can straight away feel that.
Mm.
There's a lot of bitterness coming through, though.
I like this. I quite like the smoky and salty. I find it's quite salty as well. And I wonder whether this process of smoking has dried the cheese out slightly. And yeah.
Be here. But for itself, quite nice, lovely. There's I think there's a nice balance of salt, slightly more salty, so it creates that balance.
Yeah.
I do tend to get a bit a hint of bitterness in the back on the finish, and I'm assuming that's coming only from the rind. It's not the cheese itself, but
Mm.
And so from the with the aroma side of it, it was quite light, you were saying the smell of the smoke was quite light.
very, very light, very light. The cheese itself has got
Mm.
very little aroma. It's quite kind of almost lactic-y, and you know the
Okay. So what
chew
do we
trying
think on
to.
appearance then, guys?
In appearance-wise, assuming it's smoked, it is what it is. I'd be happy with a. I don't know how else you can smoke a soft, moldy, mold rinded cheese. I'd be happy with a 6, 7. I don't know, Gene.
Yeah, I think I would give it a 6. Just there is something, and I'm sure it's really challenging, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
to undermine how difficult I imagine it is to get like
Yeah.
very smooth, even kind of smoking. And I'm sure as soon as you knock that bloomy rind, I'm sure it does it, it doesn't do it
Yeah.
any favors, but I would say 6, yeah.
6, yeah. And then what do we think on aroma,
Um,
James? So you were saying about it being like not a huge amount of smokiness.
no, very
what would you
light.
think score wise?
Um, I'd still be same with the aroma. I'd probably go with another 6. Um,
Yeah, I think the aroma, comparatively speaking, I think the aroma is better than the like visually. So I would maybe go with a 7.
7.
7, you happy with 7,
Yeah.
Tally?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Go for
I
it.
love the
Yeah.
way you said 7 like a question. 7? Okay, texture.
Quite good texture for what it is. And I know, I think, as Jane said earlier, I think they might have to consider smoking a slightly younger cheese because it's going to be sitting there. And so, for what it is, texture-wise, it is pretty good. I'd be quite happy with. It almost gives you dual texture, a chalky and a butteriness to the whole thing. Another 8, Jane?
Yeah, I think the texture is very good, and I don't know what the impact of the smoking would have been, or when in its life was it smoked. It's
Yeah.
probably fairly recently. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
Lovely.
Good.
And then flavor.
I was, I'd be happy with a 7 or 8 on the flavor. And it's not really, I don't know, I was expecting a bit more, um, because it's smoked, I thought it was going to do a bit more just playing with the
Yeah.
nose. I wanted it to kind of make me feel a bit on the palate too. Yeah, so I think it was quite delicate though, but so that's why I was quite happy with a 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yes, I will go with 7.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. We are then on to our next cheese. So this is F91046.
1046. We got all the F9 categories, is that right?
You just yeah, just this one. It's unusual because a lot of time you can have multiple categories, but this is just one big category. So
Category. That means it reduces our introduction.
well, that's exactly. It saves me having to do the introduction too many. It saves you guys too as well.
Looks lovely. Think it's quite ripe from what it feels like. Really, really soft and gooey. Very
nice.
delicate aroma again. Beautiful. Don't know if you can you see
Oh
it?
yeah, nice. You can see the breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Can I say as well, you're both very good at cutting out little wedges of them cheeses. I feel like I'd make a mess of it, and you both do it very cleanly.
I don't know about that.
Sorry, that's what happens when you retail cheese for a few years.
Yeah.
You cannot just cut it. You got to cut it perfectly.
Yeah.
No, looks good. Looks really, really nice. Really ripe and
Mushroomy, there's obviously the, yeah, mushroomy.
I'm not sure if you can
Oh, little
see
bubbles.
that the ripeness in the cheese almost kind of running
Yeah.
ooze out from the rind and gone. Really nice.
What have you found there,
Lots of
Jane?
fruits are kind of-
Oh, I've got
Yeah,
you in
just
your.
a few gas bubbles just under the rind,
No.
just escaping there as I cut it open.
And I think it's got that lovely buttery, soft silkiness, but it's got that mushroomy flavor coming through, which is making it quite kind of nice and meaty almost, soft and really good. I like it.
Yeah, as compared to some earlier ones we had that were fattier, this feels like it's rich. There's some elasticity in the broken down part. It's very, very nice, very meaty. Gives it some kind of resistance in your mouth.
I think that's taking it away from the feeling of that fattiness, but keeping it rich and it kind of mouthful actually. Very pleasant also on the finish. Really nice, clean. There's no kind of pungency coming through. Absolutely not. Really, really nice. Really good actually.
And what did you get on the aroma there, Jane? You said, I think you said before, a bit mushroomy on the rind.
Yeah, mushroomy. No unpleasantness. Nothing.
Very, yeah, mushroomy, very touch of almost kind of fresh grass, light lactic kind of, very delicate, but nice. Very nice actually.
Yeah, you've got the protein breakdown, but it's very palatable. Like it's
Yeah.
There's
it's
no
not soapy or anything.
when they're not getting pneumonia, nothing, very clean.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so appearance, what do we think?
I'd be very happy with the appearance and I'm happy to give it a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, 10. Let's go with 10.
10? Love it. And then we are on to aroma.
Yeah, I think quite nice aroma for its ripeness. I'd be happy with another 9 or 10 on this.
Sure, let's do 9.
Yeah.
9? Lovely.
9, I think it's, yeah.
And then texture.
Yeah, let's go with 10 for
Same
texture.
again.
I really like that.
I love this.
It's robust.
One of them cheeses you just want to keep eating as well, because it's especially when I find with cheeses that are got that sort of texture, you want to keep eating. I think, oh, that's awesome. I love it when
lovely.
Yeah.
it's got that sort of
It is,
texture.
I could session this cheese.
And then and then flavor.
I think I'd go with I'd just go all the way. I think it's been really good. Simply because it's not the first of its kind that we're tasting. So we've tasted a few of its kind. And I think what Jane said earlier was really to the point that a bit like the cheese itself, poor, but there is a lovely mushroomy flavor coming. It's quite balanced. There's no ammonia coming. It's on the whole really, really nice. And I think we're also lucky to taste it for its point at this way it is. It's beautifully right. Everything is really good. But what do you think, Jane?
Yeah, why don't we give it a 10? Why don't we give it-
Yes. I love it. Okay. Wonderful. So as much as it's sad to say, we have to move on from this cheese now.
Oh, what a
We're
shame.
on to F91050.
F910.
50.
I've got a 1047 also. If you need.
Oh. Oh, have you got a 47, Jane?
Yeah, I've got a 47. Yeah.
Oh, that's been hidden on my spreadsheet. Do you see? It is there though. It's just been hidden. Okay, that's an
Should we
extra
go
cheese for you to
with
guys.
the
So,
47?
lucky you. We'll go with 1047. Yeah.
Lovely.
See,
Imagine if we'd missed it. It could
Jane's
be amazing.
organized,
We
so
could have
she's
missed
keeping
it.
us right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, this looks like beautiful, lovely. Again, very, very ripe. You can just feel it just by even holding it. Look,
Look
there you go.
at that. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, what a good breakdown.
Proper.
Oh God, I didn't think I want to eat more cheese, but after this, I'm getting a bit twitchy. I might have to get some more and just sneak it in.
Um,
Interesting. Mine's
yeah.
got a fissure. I don't know if you can see that. That's it. Like a fissure in the
Oh yeah.
head. Very different in color to the last one. I don't know about yours, Tani. Mine's kind of almost like darker yellow.
Darker, yes, it is. I don't know if you can see much.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's got that sort of not oranginess, but that sort of deeper yellow hue to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I put my head down, by the way, it's because I'm writing notes. I'm not being rude.
Don't worry.
What are we getting, guys? You both look very what's the I wanted to pensive. You both just sort of
No,
went
I mean, you try to taste it, but then also you try to relate it to from what you've just had, and you
yeah.
think,
Yeah.
um,
It's
know,
very different. It's different, very different texture, flavor, it's different balance of things. I'm getting some grassy, some kind of, I
Yeah.
guess,
yeah,
yeah, what we term grassy, which I think sometimes people think of as farmyardy, but very slight, not
Yeah.
yeah.
nothing too funky.
I think almost like those earthy notes with I don't know. I'm getting very little, almost right at the end, kind of a hint of bitterness, but not really. I don't know if it's the rind that's kind of, too heavy and too thick, grown a lot, and it's what is given, but it's beautifully ripe. So the ripeness is lovely. The pate is quite gentle. I was expecting a little more from the pate, a bit more mushroomy and kind of, those lovely cabbagey notes, but none. Absolutely, there's nothing because of its ripeness. There's no ammonia in it, which is quite nice to see that there's nothing kind of feeling that sort of kind of strong notes. No, very gentle. The aroma is quite delicate, and but quite balanced with salt also. I don't think it's too salty. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a bit of salt, but it's in balance. Yeah, and I get the bitter as well. Right at the back, right at the end.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
we think on appearance? Oh, sorry, Jane, go on,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no.
So what do we think on appearance then, guys? How would you score it? Jane,
Appearance,
what do you reckon?
it looked pretty good for me as before the cut, and I would happily give it a 8 or a 9 on the appearance.
Yeah, I would give it an 8 just on the, I don't know, there's something about I guess it may be a dryness or something, and the fissure in the middle is big gap. So maybe 8.
8,
8,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, and then what do we think about the aroma side of it?
Again, very delicate, isn't it?
Yeah, I do get a little bit of ammonia. Very little.
And would
But
you expect that from that type of cheese?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like it very much in line with expectation.
Yeah.
But I think just probably why it occurred to me to say anything was because of the comparison from the last cheese.
100%, yeah, of course, yeah.
And I'd give a 7 on the aroma, maybe.
Sure.
Am
7,
I
yeah.
Happy
inclined?
with 7. Yeah.
Okie dokie. And then texture.
Beautiful texture, like quite nice, ripe.
Yeah. The only thing, I guess, like, I don't know how you describe this, but like when you put the paste in your mouth, as compared to the other ones that were very homogeneous, this was more like distinct. Like as you bit it, that piece would stay in a piece more.
Right,
I
so it
don't
wouldn't
know.
coat your mouth as much.
Not in the same way
Right.
as some of the ones the very buttery one we had at the beginning, and then the one we've just had then. Do you know what do you have a better way of describing that, Tani?
Um, I'm going to try again, as you say.
If you bite it, it stays in a piece.
Yeah, it's got a bite. It's quite it doesn't become mouthful. You have to really explore it
Mm.
to make it mouthful. It stays together. Absolutely, yeah. It's almost like eating a piece of hard cheese, and it stays in the mouth till you break it and you disintegrate it.
Until you break it
Whereas
down.
the
Yeah.
others just kind of were, spreading themselves.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Absolutely. I think it's just staying together from this gooey texture, and the rind is quite heavy. I mean, you can feel the rind very easily.
Yeah.
I'd happily give texture-wise maybe 7 or 8, or even go less.
Yeah. 7. I think
7.
7, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is right. You've got to use what you've had previously, because you'll be going through finding cheese you really like, and it's a good barometer on what to look at all the other cheeses. So lovely. Okay, and then flavor.
Let me say, would we go with like a 7, just based on the bitterness at the end? I would say gives it that slightly.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm happy with that.
7, yeah. Lovely. Okay, our next cheese is definitely this time F91050. Hopefully.
1050.
That's the one.
Cow's
Oh,
milk
look at this.
soft cheese.
Ooh,
Look at this.
that's our first pot. Ooh. Okay, now there's some lactic smelling.
So a cheese like this is pretty much appearance is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
It's funny, you
Oh,
didn't know what to expect, right?
Jane's face.
Not at all what I expected. It's delightful, but it's not at all what I was expecting to taste.
I mean,
It's fluffy.
Very silky, creamy. It is soft. It's interesting, isn't it? The texture starts playing with it the minute you taste it. Your mind starts going.
Mm. Yeah, very much the butter fat.
Yeah.
Like the first hit is fluffy, light, and then there is like a butter fat coating of the top of my mouth.
Mm.
And yeah, and
Very sweet. Yeah.
the
Sorry.
second bite and the third bite taste a lot different to the first, because once you have
And so
coated,
when you say it wasn't what you're expecting, what were you expecting compared to what you're actually eating?
I was expecting more salt and acid, and I got more sweet, and like it's like fresh milk to me.
Oh,
It's,
wow, right.
yeah, there's no salt. I don't perceive any salt at all.
I mean, I was expecting something like we have up here in Scotland, like a crowdy, which is quite lemony and lactic
Yeah.
with loads of salt in it. It's a very, very kind of an early stage of kind of almost like the curd, which is quite crumbly and can spread on a cracker. So I was expecting something like that, much more lemony, citrusy.
I love a crowdy, by the way.
Oh, and this is like almost like cream or like a rich, creamy style.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like a creme fraiche,
Like a creme
really
fraiche.
rich creme fraiche.
But loads of sweetness in it. Loads of sweetness.
Yeah, loads of sweetness.
So
You
yeah,
could make like a really delicious cheesecake with it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's delicious. I'd want to eat it quite quickly, I think.
it does look super smooth, lovely, very nice, even on the spoon and on the palate, really nice. Very good.
Yeah, like
tough one, but appearance. How do you see it as from an appearance point of view?
It is what it is. Difficult to fault it, is it, Jane?
yeah. Where I put my spoon, it has a very nice like texture, like a fluffy texture.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. You can see that. Sorry, I'm not going to tilt it on the camera or the
Yeah, there's a
or the
bit of
way
whey.
will go
I
on
don't want
the.
there's a bit of whey in the bottom. I don't
Yeah,
want it
so
on my keyboard.
but no, it does. You're right. 8 or a 9 or
Yeah, 9. Let's go for 9.
9? Okay, lovely. And then aroma.
It's lactic, fresh. I think it's really it's one of the things that really hit it. It's the first one to really hit me as I opened the lid. It was like, whoa,
Yeah.
lactic. So
another 9?
yeah.
And I think it's interesting because you said like the smell of stuff led you down one route, but actually when you tasted it, it wasn't what you said, which I think I've always think that's really interesting. So then texture wise.
Texture again, really, really, really good for what it is. Really nice. I was kind of super pleased. Yes, the mind was playing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I needed it to be lemony, salty, or crowdy, or whatever. But I mean, equally good. I'd be happy with another 8 or a 9 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do 9?
9, yeah. Lovely. And then flavor.
Sweet, delicious.
Sweet.
Yeah, I thought this flavor was a real dream. Yeah, 9 or 10.
Yeah, let's go 10, Jade.
10.
Great.
Love it. Wonderful. Okay, so your next fromage is F91053.
1053, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you say, James?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got some.
Another soft cheese, super ripe.
Oh, look at the, yeah.
It's almost kind of breaking itself in the ripeness.
Yeah.
It's almost, you can see the cracks coming. Can you? I don't know if I can. But
Yeah, I can see the
just-
cracks on there, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrinkles on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. It's got that
Oh yeah, that's
mushroom.
the texture is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. That crowd-pleasing mushroom aroma.
Lovely, yeah, loads of aroma, a nice kind of nice, pleasant. Also, not doesn't feel like it's overripe or something.
Yeah, for how ripe it is, it doesn't have unpleasant.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost sometimes feel like, oh my God, this feels too ripe. What's it going to taste like? But
Mm.
that's good. That's nice.
Eh.
Very, yeah.
Wow. Very nice. Very well balanced.
Very, very, very well balanced.
Even the rind is quite kind of fitting with the body and
Yeah.
and
It's a
Wow.
continuous cheese. There isn't like 3 cheeses in one. Although
Very-
there are different, there's the rind and there's just under the rind and then the center. It's very much a cohesive bite.
very good. Nice. And very pleasant also.
Mm.
Because there's no kind of the aroma that puts you off. It's quite nice that you can go back to it and, you know,
Mm. Yeah, no bitter.
no bitterness at all. Even the rind feels quite delicate.
Mm.
Cool. Very good.
Mm.
So the rind isn't too thick, you were saying, it's quite delicate.
No, yeah, quite nice. It fits very well with the pate. Everything.
And I like what you were saying, Jane, about it being quite cohesive throughout the cheese, which is... And then flavour, what sort of flavour notes are you getting?
You get those very classic soft cheese ones, but also quite balanced in the point of view of it's quite, there is that element of nice lactic milkiness is there, but still there is an element of mushroomy notes to it, quite kind of delicate, not too heavy. You don't feel quite cabbagey and almost grassy notes, but the reason you want to eat more is nothing strong coming through, quite nice, quite balanced and consistent. It's not, you don't feel the salt at all.
Yeah. Yeah, lower, not
Yeah.
low, but lower salt for sure. And nutty, mushroomy, very, very delightful.
Very delightful. Yeah, that's a good one.
That delightful is definitely going in my notes. Okay, so appearance, what do we think score-wise?
8 or 9 for what is it? Super ripe cheese. Difficult though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought actually we might, well, I would err on the side of slightly lower, so 8 for the appearance, just because I feel like based on the appearance, I was surprised by how perfect everything else was.
Else was
Right.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed, totally. Yeah.
But not that there's anything. I mean, maybe it's got a rustic. It looks rustic, and it's got yeah. So maybe we'd I don't yeah. Oh, that's tricky. First one that I've been not sure on or not as sure whether it should or could be considered a fault to be worried about how ripe it is just based
Yeah.
on the outside. But then when we cut in, it's what do they
Well, I
say?
think that's part of it. The appearance is all about what potentially, like you said, what it makes you think about the cheese. So if you think that that's not a negative, but if that's something that created a bit of concern, then how it looks is definitely part of that. So I think, yeah, you see that as something to be wary of. So what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So why don't we do, what did you say, Tony?
You can do
8?
8. You can do
I was thinking
8.5
8
if you
or
want.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we do 8? But I love the wrinkly. So like, don't.
Let's do it 9. No,
Feedback
let's do
to
it
be-
9. See,
Yeah.
I think what
9?
you said rightly is 9 because
Yeah, 9.
when we saw it, we felt it was going to be right. We felt it was almost falling apart, and so it was what it was. It was You're not
And
judging
I
the
suppose
book by the cover.
if that's the one thing that you're unsure about appearance wise, then maybe just the one mark's a fair way to go with it if it's just that only thing. So
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
aroma.
Good, good aroma, quite nice. Quite delicate though, nothing overpowering, nothing strong. I'm actually surprised how delicate the aroma is for the ripeness and the strength it has. And be happy with another 8 for the aroma. I don't know what.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Just go for 9.
no, yeah, love it. Okay, texture.
That was good.
Yeah, I loved it.
10. Just
10,
10.
let's go for 10.
Lovely. And then flavor, guys.
same.
Yeah, another 10, I think.
10 again. There we go. Okay, beautiful. On to the next then. We are 1086.
Ooh. I'm excited for this one, but it's in a different packaging.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, we've got some shiny.
Intrigued.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Absolutely. Oh, look at
Well, this is wild. It's like
Oh, wow, look at that.
there's some kind of pinky, whitey geotrichum,
Yeah,
and there's like
blue moves.
grey.
What is it?
Ah,
Look at that.
there's a hole in the bottom of mine. I can't see where it goes.
Yeah, I've got a few holes. There are a few holes at my bottom of this one also. Oh,
Oh,
blue
Okay,
cheese.
the blue.
oh, look at that.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Don't know if you can
nice.
see, but yeah, that's blue cheese. Looks
Well, at
good.
least you know where the hole goes now, Jane.
Yeah.
Wow,
It looks nice though.
looks lovely. Yeah, no,
Oh
looks
yeah.
good. I mean,
Mmm.
stunning for what it is. Yeah.
Magnificent.
Also, looks quite kind of nicely ripe across the pate. Like, you can see there's no
Yeah.
chalkiness in it. Quite nice.
Oh,
Right. So,
Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So I'm getting some sweetness just under the rind and just under the rind. In the middle, and at the end, I'm getting quite intense bitter.
right.
yes.
I really like the how the blue has given the front flavor. Like when it first comes into my mouth, when it first touches my tongue, I love what the blue has done to that experience. And then just at the end, it's ooh,
Yeah, and the bitterness just takes it away in a way.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a shame. I think also, I may be totally wrong on this, but I think the bitterness is probably coming through the vegetarian rennet, which
Right.
can be, and it's quite predominantly, it's almost kind of, I'm going to go back to the word I used before, it's quite vegetal, like you can feel
Yeah.
that, but there is that grassiness to it, no sweetness at all, but the bitterness really overtakes and it lingers.
Yeah, I think because it's a shame because other than that intense bitter at the end, it's lovely. There's loads going for it. It's
Yeah.
just that bitter right at the end that overtakes any other experience that you've had before.
Okay, so
True.
appearance wise,
Funky.
think.
It's got two things. So it's got the rind's quite dry, and it's again wetter on one side. The side it's wetter on is greener, and the
Yeah.
side that it's drier on is almost like a white, pinky orange.
Yeah.
And I don't hate that, but I imagine it maybe not not completely intended.
Right.
Be. So what do you want to do? Appearance? 6, 7.
6 or 7, yes. What should we do?
You can do a half. You want to go 6.5?
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just whatever's easy for the maths.
Oh no. Hey, the spreadsheet does it all for me. You give me whatever you want. It does it. So I'm all good.
It can be like, and 6 recurring.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Aroma.
Quite. I think it's difficult to really get the aroma on it because I think the blue mold really overtakes everything. Almost feels quite farmyardy.
Yeah, it's got like sheep's wool.
Yeah.
Good one.
And I think this particular cheese might not be for its aroma, it's more the look or the taste than the aroma. But I don't know, what do you think? 5?
5's fine. Yeah, 5.
5. Yeah.
I feel like it's tricky because if the aroma, the things are so connected. If the aroma led to something that followed it, it maybe we would score it higher. But on its own, the aroma, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Okay. Texture.
Lovely texture, nice kind of ripe, lovely bluing on the inside. Probably texture was the best of the lot in the characteristics for this cheese.
Yeah, I like the texture.
8, 9?
Yeah, 8 or 9. 9.
9. Yeah. Lovely. And then flavor. It's quite a tricky one, I would imagine, this one, because there were some really good things you liked about the flavor, but then obviously you've got that.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one to score, I think, because it has so much going for it. And then I wouldn't like the bitterness hits me, and I know that bitterness is obviously something that some people don't mind and they like it. It's actually something they would choose, and then others are like, and I feel like I'm not looking for that level of bitter
Yeah.
in the cheese.
So what do we reckon?
6, 7,
6?
5,
6?
6.
6. Yeah.
6 is in the middle of what you said.
No, I think that's fine. I think, it's got to be representative of, like you say, that bitterness. It's just something that at you as a judge, it just doesn't, not what you want to see in that sort of cheese, and that's completely fine. Okie dokie. We are on to F9 1099.
$1099, yeah?
That's the one.
Thanks, Jen. It's been good so far. Normally you could get pulled up for 0.5 or 0.25.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think actually from listening to a lot of people, the entries this year have been fantastic. It's been a lot of really great cheese.
Really good quality. Yeah, I feel like we've had
Wow.
so far so good. We've had a good category. Oh wow.
This is, I don't know. Is it the geotrichum that just grows over? Is it, or because when you brush it off, you can see that lovely orange kind of wash line.
Yeah,
blue.
nice.
Can you see
Yeah,
that?
it's got
Yeah.
both, hasn't it? It's got
Yeah,
the kind of
so-
whatever it's called, the Candida, not Candida, what's it called? The bloomy. What's the bloomy rind called?
Is the bloom not the penicillin? Is that the penicillin candidium?
Candidium, there we go.
Candidium. Cow's milk.
Yeah, interesting. There's in the middle. There's some just yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Say that. Oops. No, I didn't write that.
nice,
Yeah.
nice kind of ripeness through and through.
I keep basing this on the fact that you're showing me the cheese, but actually it's for the other people who are going to watch it. But I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's for you.
Like it's just me.
It's for
Yeah.
you, yeah, it's only for you.
It's got
Did it
the
look?
holes in it. Do you see that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Has it broken down? Has it got as much breakdown as some of the other ones?
No, not at all. Actually, it's holding itself quite well. It is bright, but it's really
Oh,
holding
wow.
really well. Something that, chefs and people like when you're plating up. It's quite, it's holding
Yeah,
firm, not unlike the
chefs.
previous one was just gooey and running.
It's interesting whereas in the more I don't know whether it would be like a more acidic set, where in some of the cheeses we had earlier, the bit that wasn't ripe in the middle was chalky and acidic. This, it seems much more, for want of a better word, cheddary.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
oh, yeah, very, very solid. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like solid.
Yeah.
It's not crumbly or
Like
chalky, but it's like yeah,
it is almost there. Falls apart like there.
Like a bit
yeah,
fudgy.
Yeah.
yeah, fudgier. Definitely fudgier.
Interesting.
Again, taste wise, very similar to the way it looks. Everything is delicate, delicate, delicate. Mm. The aroma is also very delicate, almost non-existent unless you smell the rind and you
Mm,
very.
yeah. And the rind has like a slight farmyardy, but not just
Yeah,
more than some of the others. I don't know if that's the effect of the orange, the bee linens. If that's what the orange is, although I'm told that there's more going on with the orange rind.
yeah.
This classic bee linens that we will talk about.
Right.
So what do we think on appearance then?
Appearance wise, it looks quite good, quite nice, and stays itself well. Like a good 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's handsome.
Oh, that's a good word
Handsome.
for cheese. I like that. Handsome. So what do we think? Do you want to err on the side of an 8 or do you
Yeah.
want to stick with 7?
Yeah.
8. Let's do it.
8, yeah. Okay, and then we are on to aroma.
Again, I said quite very delicate all the way through, except on the rind. 6.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my finger on the word. It's 6 is fine.
There is that farmyardy kind of
But yeah,
aroma on the rind, but on the pate, it's pretty
it's not there at all.
nothing there. Yeah.
Okay, and then texture.
Another 5,
It's 5 or 6.
5, yeah.
5, yeah. That's fine. Okay, and then flavor.
I think another say 6.
Oh, it's hard. Yeah,
6.
yeah.
There's not much
Okay.
happening. It's quite flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Moving on. We are F91100.
F91100.
That's it.
Cool. British Mondor.
Um,
So it's wrapped in a spruce bark.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
Looks lovely, actually. Bark color looks really good. Sorry, I'm going to do this. You had to do it. Sorry.
Is that a photo? Maybe while we're at it, why not?
And I mean, it looks really good. Appearance wise, pretty good. The bark looks lovely colors from the bark. The rinds are quite nice. Loads of.
Well, actually, while we're doing that, can I get a picture of you guys? Give me a smile. Nice, love it.
There's this amazing the way that the way that the mold has been pressed against the cheese. I've never seen this before. It's like got this shimmer. Like I don't know how
Like a bit of
you.
a sheen to it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's got
shine
this
to
like
it, yeah.
textured.
Wow.
It's very cool. It's beautiful. Looks like velvet.
Hey,
I feel bad, Jonathan, that we're the ones eating all of this. And
I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of categories I'd have been happy not trying, but so far I'm gutted because so many of these look right up my street.
so bad.
This.
Ah, so Tanny's gone in to cut it like a
Oh yeah,
vashran.
he's done
Nice.
it the right way for this cheese. Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, it's good because I think the two different ways, it's good for everyone to see the different cross sections. So,
If you want to see.
oh, nice, yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
It's like cooked butter.
Oh, nice. So what we're thinking, it's gone quite quiet, and I'm taking that as a positive.
I was sorry, Jane. I'm just going to jump in here.
Yeah.
I was hoping a little bit more. It is very supple and quite kind of rubbery. It's like almost like eating a raclette. A bit more than
And you were expected to be softer and a bit
a
oozier
bit more
almost.
softer. Just to
Yeah. Maybe.
create a bit more character on the texture and hopefully the flavor would have lost behind the texture. But you're chewing, waiting for something to happen, and nothing's happening. It's quite soft and delicate. Everything was kind of sexy about it. The bark, the rind, the shine, the sheen, and I don't know, Jane, what do you think? Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I completely
Mine
know
is
what
getting
you're
carried
talking
away.
about. I love the flavor. I mean, I guess I love this style with the spruce bark. So I feel like I have to be careful not to be too biased by that because I love the characteristic flavor that the bark imparts with the cheese. And I completely get where you're coming from with the texture, especially with the way that it's broken down. It's very supple. Feels like a higher protein milk than maybe like when you get those really fatty milks, and it's like creamy butter. This is definitely, it's got that supple. The way the curd has set it's got that kind of curd structure that's it has a rubbery nature, although I try not to use rubbery because with our cheese sometimes I think to say that and then I think, is that what customers want to hear? But yeah, I completely see where you're coming from there.
I may be totally wrong, but I think it's just unfortunate. The cheese is a bit young. Maybe a bit more riper would have been a completely different.
That's interesting. Wait for that protein to break down a bit.
Bit more.
So I'm thinking appearance is quite high in a score in there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, what do you reckon? 9 or 10?
9 or 10, yeah, go for 10. Yeah, really.
10? Okay, and then we're on to aroma.
And again, quite delicate, and it's pretty good for what it was. I'd be happy with another 8 or a 9 on this.
Yeah. 8, I think.
8, yeah. And then texture.
I think that would be the lower one. Is that your feeling is just about the age and potentially?
I think, yeah, but it's still good 8.
Yeah.
8, yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And then flavor.
I like the flavor because yeah, because of all the things I said before. But I can understand that it doesn't, the way that the flavor develops maybe is what you felt wasn't quite there. I liked I thought it was all in balance and it was all there.
Yeah.
It was
Maybe
totally balanced. Oh, totally agree. I think you're right. It was balanced and everything was, even the finish was nice and clean. You don't feel any after.
Mm,
You happy with 8 or 9?
sure. 9.
Okay, go for 9.
Oh, what on there? Oh God. There we go. Right. We are on to F91101. Oh.
All right.
Oh, Jane, I got you paused from it then, and you had this great pose of you like this. And it just stopped with you like that.
Like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
So again, looks lovely. Some kind of a fresh lactic-y kind of almost looks like a longer, but without
Oh, yes, that sort of dip
but
in the
without
middle.
yeah, the little dip in it, but without the color on it, and it's wrapped in a paper, so it feels like quite kind of young or fresh cheese.
Yeah, very impressed with how this has traveled.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's been wrapped very well too in a clear cellophane.
Yeah. Beautiful. Little piece of paper there.
Definitely very delicate. Look at, I don't know if you can see the texture, but it looks very kind
Oh,
of,
yeah, it looks moussey almost, doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Mm.
absolutely, yeah. Very mousse. You can see the greens, and it's almost like going to say that word again, crowdy patted into a cheese.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like? Almost like eating a ricotta.
Mm.
Like a
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
grainy style, like a ricotta style almost.
Mm.
Wow,
Lemony, fresh.
fresh. Very much what I was expecting looking at it,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, it has slightly firmer set than I was expecting. Like a bit, I suppose that's maybe why I said I thought it had traveled very well, and because I was expecting it to be much higher, like some don't know more moisture.
Yeah.
And it's interesting there where I don't know if you probably may not be able to see that, but where it's
Broken almost.
broken and it's got that kind of layering, shardy layering.
It has, yes.
So
It's
quite like
actually
a sort of similar to a curd almost, where it sort of breaks like that. Oh,
like,
interesting.
yeah, dry curd. It's also kind of quite delicate and pretty that you don't really want to cut it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but everything about it is what it is. The delicateness, the taste, the way it's traveled, the way it's packed. Um, I think this might be very easy to score. Um, I like it actually. I think
Yeah.
really nice. Quite
So what
versatile.
are we thinking on appearance then?
Really good for what it is in its natural way.
Yeah.
Um,
So we've got, yeah, what would you say, 9 or 10?
I would go 9. Yeah, I would go 10 actually.
10?
It looks like it's just kind of left in its natural way to drain, and you can see the mold marks on the top, and just
Yeah.
this. And it's so young and fresh that it's traveled so well without much of.
Yeah.
We'll go 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. It's like almost like a Rabiola style, like, you know, where you set it in the thing.
Yeah, and then use it out. Absolutely like that Ravioli
Amazing.
Italian high mount style.
Mm.
Okay, aroma then.
And very, very delicate or non-existent. And I think that is why I would give it another 9 or 10. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, sure, 10. Why not?
10. Love it. And then texture.
I really liked it. Beautiful texture, even on the cut. Nice. I'd go the same again. 9, 10, 8.
Yeah, I would maybe 9. I was expecting it to be just a bit more, I don't know, something like light.
Have a little bit more give to it.
Yeah, well, like it was really fluffy, but then it had this other element, maybe, which isn't maybe a full. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's go
So
with
you're thinking
9.
9?
9.
Yeah. And then flavor.
I liked it. I thought it's very delicate for what it was. Nice and very clean. No, you know, no aftertaste at all. Very gentle. I'd be happy with another 9 or
9 or 10, I would say.
10. 9, 10.
10.
10.
There we go. Ooh. Okay.
That was a good
Your
cheese.
next cheese is
Mm.
F9 1124.
9.
1124.
That's the one.
Oh, this one. Oh,
Is
yeah.
this the one you had to put in a bowl?
What's that?
Oh, this. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Love that. Eh, right.
Soft cow's milk. Looks lovely appearance wise. Looks good. Even traveled well.
Mhm.
One interesting shape.
Yeah. I wonder how they do that.
I don't know. Yeah,
They make it like this in a thing.
it must do. Yeah, I have no idea.
A basket.
I love it.
There's
Yeah,
like a diamond pattern on the bottom. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, look.
Oh yeah, look at the texture of it.
quite nice. I think quite nice. I'm not sure, but there's a lovely consistency on the pate all the way through, and it looks like that ripeness is just perfect all the way through, right from the rind to. I wonder you turn this cheese.
Right.
How would you
Oh,
turn
gee, I
it?
mean,
You
I
might have to
don't.
have a cup to hold it, or it just goes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so slight color like under the rind.
Yeah.
Slight darker yellow. Very
Very supple.
supple, yeah.
Do you get much on the nose with it?
None, quite very delicate on the nose, but nice flavor. Um, um, Rind is quite nice balance. There's nothing coming through untoward on the rind or aftertaste. Nice and clean. Just something in the flavor that adds a bit more.
Very uniform rind, but with a very strong skin, that it's got quite strong skin that it's created. Like thin but strong.
Nothing like me.
Thick skin cheese.
Yeah. What do you think of the flavor then, Jane?
So it's got it's got a balance of flavors in some nutty, not as much mushroomy as some of the other flavors that some of the other bloomy rinds we've had
Yeah.
in this category. It's got that like we talked about, the way that the cheese ripened and the less ripened bit paste in the middle being, it's got kind of that supple, slightly more cheddary,
Yeah.
or fudgy is probably a better word. It's a less confusing word in this category to use than some of those chalkier cheeses that
Right.
we had. But it's not like a rubbery in any way. It's
Right.
still got like a, yeah, it's at the Caerphilly end of cheddar if we're going.
Oh, okay, got you.
Gee.
Yeah, there's kind of nice, pleasant grassiness to it, like, but it's quite clean. You know, I think what's nice is there's no aftertaste. Like there's no aftertaste of anything, whether it's the rind or whether it's, you know, anything. Salt is quite balanced. Everything is just in harmony in a way, you know,
Yeah.
just right kind of
So
thing.
what do we think about appearance then?
I think it's funky and different, and yeah, I mean, I think it's very good.
It's nice to have something that's a bit different as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's nice to see something that's a bit innovative and
I would
Yeah.
give it a good 9 out of 10. Looks good, traveled well, it's coming
Yeah.
in very odd shape, just stands out well. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
9,
9, 10, 9.5?
yeah,
9.5. Fine.
9.5?
go for it.
Okay. Aroma.
I would say
Very delicate. There's
not
hardly,
a lot, not a
yeah.
great deal happening, and then but it's all very in keeping with what you would expect. There's no there is an aroma, and yeah, it's
Yeah, there's nothing there. That's fine, and I think it's okay for what it is. For you know, I think maybe it's a cheese that doesn't have aroma, and it's fine. And
yeah,
I'd give a good 8 or a 9. Would
sure, yeah, 8.
8? Okay.
be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Texture.
Really nice. I like
Yeah,
it. I'd give it another 8 or 9.
yeah, I think without knowing much about this style of cheese and what the cheesemaker was intending, I would say it's fine. It's yeah, 8.
8?
You're
Yeah,
happy with 8, or you want to go 7, Jade?
could do. Yeah,
Yeah, go.
I don't know. 7.5.
Yeah, okay.
7.5?
Yeah.
Are you
Let's
happy
do
with
it.
that, Tanny?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We'll go 7.5 then. And then flavor.
I like the flavor.
Very pleasant up front, not very long. So it
No,
doesn't go on for very long. So it's like, yum,
short,
it's
clean.
delicious.
Yeah.
And then bye.
Yeah, yeah. Very short depth of flavor, really short. I think it's a bit with like its aroma. There's hardly any aroma and taste. But I quite liked it. There was something in it where, you know, I could go back and eat a little more and a little more. Quite,
Yeah, another one for the session.
yeah.
Yeah.
8, no?
Yeah, 8.
8, yeah?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Okay, we are on to F91150.
Oof, something very ripe.
Yeah.
super ripe, like very ripe.
It's still intact. Everything's intact.
Which is impressive. If it's as ripe as you're saying, I think it's always impressive that a cheese travels well when it's that ripe.
Yeah. Whoa.
I
Oh
don't know if you can
boy.
see that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
It's always good when you hear Tanny say, wow.
Mm.
Oh, there we go. That's the shot there, Tanny.
Whoa. Yeah, definitely cow's milk.
Yeah.
I can taste the cow. And I'm a dairy farmer, so I love
Yeah.
the taste of cow.
Yeah. Yeah. What we're thinking of the texture. Is it as good as it? Because for me, it looked like it was going to be lovely, the texture.
Mm.
I think texture is good because it's ripe, so it's super good. It is ripe,
Mm.
it's whatever to the far end of ripeness,
Yeah.
but the rind is still quite strong. Doesn't I think the rind is a bit heavy for the cheese, and on tasting it, it kind of separates itself and then comes back again on the taste.
Mm. Yeah. It's
Texture wise
definitely...
is
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
on you go. On you go.
Oh, yeah, like as compared to a couple of cheeses before where we were talking about it being a cohesive cheese, this one is a very, very different experience when you taste the paste as compared to when you taste the rind. They're very, very different.
Yeah.
And there isn't as much of that like continuity.
No.
I love the paste. The paste is very delicious and rich and fatty, buttery, lovely. And then yeah, the rind is vegetal, but a bit thick and a bit leathery almost.
It is a bit leathery, yeah, that's a good word. And that's why it does stay on the palate even after you finish eating. You would almost say chewing the cartilage, almost and bite it out. And there's not much aroma from the point of view of that mushroomy, cabbagey kind of no strong, nothing coming, very delicate, very, very delicate. Um, I think all in all, good, but I think they've used the candidium heavily to protect the cheese and
Right.
make it work. And you can see the beautiful white mold is almost like a white blanket on, just sitting very safely kind of thing. So I think they've done a good job of making it safe, but then the leathery rind and everything is after effects of that safety.
Ah, okay.
And
Yeah.
So what do we think on appearance then?
I mean, appearance-wise, it looks good.
Yeah, really good. I think they've done a great job of protecting, yeah, as Tony said, with yeah, very thick rind.
Unlike the previous cheese where we saw it, which was all cracking up and breaking, and we thought, what's going on over here? So, oh, you want to give it a 8, 7?
Yeah, 8. I think
8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
a good score for that.
Okay. Aroma.
Very little aroma, and I feel like when you taste the cheese, especially the paste, there's some mushroomy, nutty going on, but that I don't perceive that very easily with the aroma. So I would say I get the mold smell, very pleasant mold smell, not a bad mold smell,
Yeah.
but a good mold smell, very strongly, and I guess that follows given what we've said about the rind.
So what score would you give it then, Jane?
6, 7.
6, yeah, yeah.
6, yeah. Okay, we are on to texture, which is
Um,
funny because from what you're saying, it's almost like two different
Mm.
cheeses. Yeah.
It is. I mean, texture was really good for the pate or the body of the cheese, but the rind was something that really let it down for me.
Yeah.
Give her 8.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
An
I
8?
think it's
Yeah,
fine.
super
Yeah.
rind cheese, but
Mm.
And then flavor.
So for me, there's quite a lot. It's quite high in salt and bitter, but because those two things are both together, they do balance each other out. But it does
Right.
make for quite a full-on experience.
Yeah.
it does. What 8,
7 or 8.
7?
Oh, that means Jane wants it to be 7.
Okay.
No, I don't. But I don't want
Do you
7
wanna-
and a
do you wanna-
half.
do you want to go in the middle? Go 7.5.
Let's go with 7. It's fine. Listen.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay. The next cheese on the list is F9 1155.
F9 1155. Oh, this one's interesting too.
Yeah, this is.
Oh,
It's feels like it's a halloumi or halloumi style. I may be wrong, but cow's milk soft cheese.
Oops. Away. In here. Oh, right. Curdy. Oh,
oh.
right. It's like a block of cheddar curd.
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
it does look like a block of cheddar.
Or curd. I don't know if cheddar, but like
Curd of some sort. Oh, yeah. Look at the way it's broken down. Yeah. Like, as in broken.
yeah.
Broken.
Yeah, so maybe let's see, it'll be interesting to taste this to see it doesn't have quite the like flexibility or elasticity you would expect with any kind of curd that had been stretched like or turned and
Yeah.
stacked like a cheddar curd.
Wow. Sorry, I'm speechless actually. Um, I don't know what to expect really. It's almost like that young Lancashire style, lemony, buttery. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It's like that crumbly Lancashire where it's like got a high like acidity and
very
lemony.
high.
And...
Absolutely,
Yeah.
there is moisture on it,
Ah.
Yeah.
and it's unusually pleasant for what it
Mm.
looks like. The way it's come and broken. You know, I was not sure.
Very, yeah,
I was
like buttery, creamy,
yeah,
not at all like it. I was expecting it, even if it was like a Lancashire where to be a bit squeaky, like rubbery, squeaky.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of that.
Oh, really?
It's unusually, you're right. It's unusually buttery and creamy, which kind of almost softens that lemony and
And so
sour.
texturally, is it quite smooth then? Like,
On the yeah, yeah. It's quite so it's quite soft,
yeah,
really soft. But it just feels like when you look at the cross section of the pate, it's quite looks very curdy and
yeah.
very different. Um,
Completely not what I was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
expecting. If it was to try and guess what it was going to be like.
totally.
So appearance-wise, what do we think?
Yeah, 8.
I feel like I don't have a frame of reference to say what it should look like. 8, yeah,
Yeah.
fine. 8.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Aroma?
Just lactic, nothing else. What the cheese looks like. Okay, another 8.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Nothing off, nothing unpleasant, fresh.
Looks like a good soap bar.
Yeah, yeah, use it too.
But no, it's just I was expecting more like halloumi style, like a bit.
It looks like it's been paddled. You know, they paddle
Yeah,
butter
yeah,
by the
like butter
ridges that I've
paddles.
just seen. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
wow, that's amazing. We all did that all at once then. Big fish, little fish. Okay, so texture.
Creamy, buttery.
Crumbly.
Yeah,
I'll give another 8.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then flavor.
I was surprised by the flavor. I liked it for whatever reason.
Yeah, balanced, sweet. There's some sweet there, salty, sour, not much bitter. I think very well balanced.
Very well balanced. 8, 9,
9. Let's go for
9.
9.
Lovely. Okay. And
All
on
right.
to F9. Do you need to wipe that way up?
Just to clean, tidy up this little thing. Put this little guy in its pack.
Could that be curd cheese like you use for poutine?
Yeah,
Like,
it could be. Yeah, you put on.
you know, they crumble it on
poutine,
hot chips and just make it
Oh,
into.
with a bit of
Yeah.
gravy.
That would be
Oof.
amazing with that. I mean, usually we use our cheddar curds for poutine, and they're like squeakier and
Yeah.
rubbery.
Yeah.
But that would be amazing. That would be like a very extravagant
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
poutine, like very
that-
rich and
Or
creamy.
that'd be very Scottish with
Yeah.
cream, fried, oil,
Gravy.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Fries and gravy. Yeah.
We'll have to do a Scottish tour then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on to F9 1158.
Yeah. 91158. Oh, this one.
We're doing well time-wise as well, guys. Oh, look at this.
Look at this baby.
Oh,
Wash rind.
Whoa, it's
that looks a bit of me, that.
Lovely, nice, beautiful orange. Quite nice. And also
Looks lovely.
super ripe.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oof.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it back. I'm just worried that, whoops, I'll never get it back off my board if I.
Appearance wise, yeah, looks good. Quite nice, uniform colors around it, washed, and looks good.
It's very bright orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen one, I don't think quite that, like,
Orange.
yeah. Very. Oh, lovely.
Super ripe. Strong aroma, really strong on the rind.
Nutty on the paste. Yeah, it's got that wash rind smell.
Yeah, proper.
Look at that.
And the rind and the pate have two different smells all by itself, but loads going in the aroma.
Your facial expression when you eat cheese, Jane, are amazing. So good.
Can we say you've got a cheese eating face?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put my cheese eating face on.
Yeah.
Lots going on over here. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Very meaty, very balanced. No aftertaste. Really
Yeah.
nice. Really nice.
Meaty,
Really nice.
nutty, clean.
And I think for a change, the aroma is doing justice to the cheese.
So it tastes how you'd expect to from the smell.
Yeah, it's not got a.
Yeah, absolutely. For a change, what we are smelling and what we are tasting is taking us to the same direction. For the last 4 or 5, we've tried something, we've opened something, we felt this
Mm.
has got everything coming together in it, isn't it?
And it doesn't smell dead. Like
No,
there
you're
are
right.
some wash
It's-
wines that can smell like, you know,
Did you say dead?
dead.
Yeah, just checking that's what I heard. Yeah.
It doesn't, for the record,
No, no,
does
no,
not
yeah,
smell
yeah.
dead.
And it's there, so there's no real pungency in the aroma, you know, it doesn't
Mm.
put you off like certain times. The aroma or the smell would be like you're like after that it's like it's too
Yeah.
much for me.
So it's strong, but it's not offensive.
Yeah,
It's
correct. It's
just
quite kind of palatable on the nose if it makes sense.
yeah,
You can nose it very well because you know it, you smell it, and you say, "Wow, that's strong, really good, beautiful,
Mm.
right? Really good." No, good, really
and the
good,
flavor. So you were saying it's quite meaty but clean and stuff. What
very
about the
clean,
texture?
super ripe, silky, buttery, quite balanced. You can see, you know, this is a good example of something we
Oh
call
yeah.
as gooey. You know, the British love the gooey cheese, gooey
Oh,
Brie.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
gooey.
Yeah, like
Good.
super ripe, really, really good.
Nice.
Mm.
I like it.
Okay, so appearance wise. Oh yeah, look at that.
Appearance-wise,
The
looks
color is very orange, isn't it?
it is.
Bright,
Yeah,
really bright. Like I've not seen something this bright.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay, so what do we think then appearance wise?
yeah,
Yeah.
looks good. Clearly a washer and cheese that's been washed and looked after and sent out. I mean, I'd be happy with a 9 or a 10 for that. What do you think?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, I love a wash rind cheese. Okay, aroma.
It, again, good 9 for it for
Yeah.
loads of aroma, lots going on.
Yeah, let's give it a 9.
9, yeah. Okay, texture.
So the texture of the paste I really like. There is a little bit of sandiness on the
Rind.
crunchy
Right.
sandy, which isn't obviously quite characteristic of this kind of cheese. I would give it a 9.
9,
9, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for 9, yeah.
And then flavor.
I really like the flavor.
I think let's go for 10.
10. Can we go?
Yes.
I'm just gonna give it a 10 because we managed to get Jane on a cheese face for the
Yeah.
Yeah, just
A
go
10 for
ahead.
Jane's cheese paste. Right. Okay. Well, that's a good one. So our next cheese is F91159.
1159.
That's the one.
Oh, this is the one that's in a bowl for me.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting for this.
I had to put it in a bowl. just
one
because it was a
one
bit
what
too
5-9. Oh yeah, it's yours is in a bowl. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean now. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's hard when you touch something so soft in paper. You don't know
Oh,
what to expect out of it. It's like, oh right, it's like a San Felicia in a.
Okay. Yeah.
okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite the surface is quite wet, and that might have been a transport thing because in the corner, on the side, it's where it's not wet. There's no it's a bit drier and
Right. Okay.
yeah. But in the inside, I think it's got some Newtonian fluid dynamics going on.
Oh, okay.
Woo! No, I was exaggerating. It's not Newtonian.
So it's very interesting. I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
chalky in the middle,
Yeah.
but super. Everything, even the rind is falling off. Everything is breaking down massively. I really don't know what to expect.
What are you getting, Jane?
So I'm getting like vegetal, but not in a bitter way.
Right.
Some sweetness. There's like a an animally, but in a very like sweet, subtle way. It's not unpleasant. It's just there.
That's sort of like sweet meat sort of
Yeah,
flavor.
very
It's
kind of
like,
silky texture. In fact, I think I like the chalkiness in the middle. It gives a bit more body to the whole tasting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be just like drinking milk almost. That
Yeah.
rich, silky.
Yeah, the chalky, the less broken down bit in the middle is silky, fluffy, moussey,
Light, yeah.
very pleasant.
Really nice. Really
Mm.
nice.
I just want,
Clean on the, very clean on the finish.
what were you gonna say, Jane?
give me some crusty bread.
Crusty bread, yeah.
Yeah, like use it as butter. Mm.
And on the aroma, what are you getting on the nose?
Clean, and that yeah, that bloomy, but no, I don't know how you call this. Like I guess I associate the smell with geotrichum, but I can't see that that's on there.
Right, okay.
It is a very delicate though, but you know, it is what it is, that almost like that smell of, is there a word in English called sterility? When
Yeah,
something is
yes,
too
yeah,
sterile, you
sterility,
know,
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you just feel, oh, it's like soup.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so appearance, what do we think?
I find him finding it difficult to look past the maybe some transport abuse. So, but I think it has very much the visual is very much given by how ripe this cheese is.
Cheese,
Right,
okay.
okay.
So for me, it's like it's a bit of a a bit of a splat,
Yeah.
but beautiful nonetheless.
8,
Yeah.
or is that too generous?
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I would say like I would be very attracted to this cheese in a shop because
Yeah.
I
Right.
really love
Yeah.
this style of cheese, and I think I could look past its ripeness because it's very delicious.
Yeah.
And so I don't think as long as the cheesemonger could guarantee I could get it home in one piece, I would buy this cheese in a shop. So I think the visual would not put me off. So I think we
Yeah.
can go with 8, even though
Yeah.
it's
So but with the visual, are you thinking because of how it looks, you'd expect it to taste nice?
yes.
So almost although the visual looks a little bit it worries you at the same time. It leans you towards where I'm thinking, but at the same time, okay. So I think an eight then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would be happy. I don't know, Jane, what do you think? 7?
8.
8.
I think
For
8.
the appearance, yeah.
Well, I think
Okay.
with 8.
Aroma.
Very delicate, so there's nothing there. Another 8.
I know what you mean about the sterility. I don't mind. I think I didn't. I thought, yeah, 8 or 9. I would say, yeah. I
8.
quite like it's a clean and
Let's
yeah.
do 9.
Okay.
No, or do you want to go 8.5?
8.5. 8.5.
8.5. Okay, we'll meet in the middle.
No,
Okay, texture.
that texture was really good for what it looked like. Nice, right, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I love
very
that.
milky,
Moussey.
silky, fudgy, all that mixed together. So,
Yeah.
well, another 9.
9 or 10.
Okay, 10.
I had everything. It had everything.
Okay, and then flavor.
I liked it for
Everything.
what it was. I was hoping a bit more to happen. I'd be quite happy with an 8, but I don't know. What do you think, Jade?
Yeah, I feel like again I'm an 8 or 9.
9. Let's go with
Do you want
9.
to go 8.5 and meet
No,
in the
let's go
middle?
9. 9.
9? You sure? Okay, Tony.
Yeah, I'm very
Right.
sure.
Beautiful.
I think also there's to an extent because I had to put this in a bowl. I really was a bit worried about it, and then it came and I unwrapped it and it was like
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So I that maybe I had some, you know, when your expectations are exceeded, you feel a lot
Yeah.
better than even if, yeah.
Nice.
So I remember lifting it from the box and I was like, oh,
Uh,
I was like, oh. So no, that's fine. It's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are on F9 1167.
F9
Oh, yeah.
1167. Okay.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not right to say brie de Meaux, is it? Brie.
Yeah.
British brie, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's good,
feels
yeah.
very typical. Yeah. That mushroomy,
Very nice aroma, yeah.
yeah. Some gassy bits. Some breakdown in edge that maybe doesn't go all the way to the middle.
And so aroma wise, what did you get on it aroma wise?
Mushroom, very classic.
Yeah.
Not much else, to be completely honest with you.
Right.
The rind is, again, just a tiny hint of ammonia that you would expect. That breakdown of protein.
And flavor-wise, not much happening here. Very I don't know, I'm tasting the rind more than the pate. Or
Some bitter.
better.
Is it quite a short flavor?
It's almost it's very delicate, very lactic. I was hoping a bit more characters of the soft cheese to come in, but the rind overtakes it very quickly. It is quite a strong, and the rind overpowers the whole flavor of the cheese, if I'm making sense. And you don't really get much of the cheese. You just get very delicate, like flavors of the pate, and the rind really overtakes it. Don't know, Jay. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I guess I like, I mean it's a palatable cheese. It's nothing, I mean, like if I had this, was given this cheese, there wouldn't be any, I think there's nothing particularly remarkable about it, but there's nothing particularly wrong with it
Wrong about it.
either.
Right.
So I would say there is, well, apart from the slight bitterness that I don't love, as previously discussed, and I guess the paste is lovely and is maybe slightly, yeah, it's got that maybe it's a bit young. Is the cheese slightly young?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So what do we think appearance wise then? What would we score it?
Yeah, it's good. It's
Eight.
yeah, okay, it's
Eight?
good.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's traveled all this way, and it's a three, it's quarter. Yeah, eight's good. Yeah.
done very well.
Yeah, done well. Yeah, absolutely.
Already cut. Yeah, maybe,
Um,
and it's difficult to have something that you cut into a quarter to then ripen without the
Yeah.
protection of the entire rind.
The rest, yeah.
I think that it's very challenging, and obviously this is a larger format cheese, so they're not going to be sending out like
Full wheels, yeah.
full wheels, so
Mm.
understandable, really. So tricky, very tricky to adjust for that.
Yeah. Okay, so aroma.
Nothing unpleasant, really. I'd go with another 8 because you don't really get much of any kind of mushrooms or any kind of. There is a ripeness in the cheese, but not much. It's quite flat. And I'm just tasting, smelling the rind. Really, I'm not getting anything from the cheese. What do you think, Jade?
Yeah, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's mushroomy, and the rind is like as you would expect it to be for this style. 7 or 8, I would give it.
Do you want to go with an 8 or do you want to meet 7.5?
7.5. Yeah.
Okay, 7.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've got decision fatigue. We've got no
Yeah.
decision fatigue on you. You're gonna have to whip
Hey, we've
us
done
up.
well, to be fair, because we're coming up to penultimate cheese. There's been a lot of cheese. So textures. What are we thinking of the texture on this one?
Texture was was fine. Was good. I thought the rind was a bit heavy for my liking, but another 8.
What do you think, Jane? What did you feel about the texture?
So I found the rind was a bit heavy. I found the paste, I think it was a bit young. I think the paste in the middle had not broken down yet, and just under the rind, it had broken down, but it was still quite, like there was still quite a lot of give, or how do you call this, like flexibility, where
Yeah,
maybe when it's a bit more broken down, it gives that kind of like mouth coat, delightful finish. So I think just, and it might be a function of age, but obviously that's the cheese that's in front of us. So I think
yeah.
we have
And you think the age is partly down to maybe the fact of how like
Travel.
the fact they're
like
portioning
the
it.
logistically.
Yeah, because obviously if it's too runny to try and then portion it and use it would be okay. So what do we think then on the score of
Yeah.
the texture?
7 or 8, 7.
Yeah.
You happy with a 7, Tanny?
Yeah, I'm happy with 7. Yeah.
Okay, and then flavor.
On you go, Jane.
So again, like more, I guess it's a fairly consistent story here. So I would say very typical of this kind of cheese, but nothing that sticks out to me as remarkable. Although very pleasant cheese, so I don't want anybody listening to feel otherwise. So I would give it anything between a 6 and an 8.
7 then?
Let's go for 8.
Oh, 8.
Yeah, okay.
And he's
Okay.
feeling on
Love
the
it.
more generous side, so we'll go with 8.
Okay. We are on to our penultimate cheese. This is F91192.
Really? Is that the last one of the soft?
Second to last, we got
Second to last.
9
that
4.
one.
And 9-4 also.
Yes.
And then do we have these other pots? These like
The
one.
Buffalo.
Oh no, that's a different category.
Different,
Not
yeah.
me. Sorry about that.
That's not for me. I'm not judging that. Is that for another day?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it has come for us.
Maybe it was a mistake. I should probably let someone know.
Look at that. That's interesting, isn't it?
Whoa.
Look at
I thought the mozzarellas came in by courier yesterday to make it in time for today.
that. Oh, right, wait there. How many have you got?
3. So 2 mozzarellas from the Buffalo Farm. Well, it says Buffalo Milk. 1161, 62, and 63.
2 of each.
What
Yeah,
class
2,
are
3.
they? What's the
F3.
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 Oh,
Oh,
I will message.
this is super, super, super ripe. Um, can
Whoa,
almost-
it's like
yeah,
a orange to pink rainbow.
yeah,
You have this
absolutely.
orange to, it's like orange on this side and it's pink on this side, and it's like a perfect.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow, that is pink, isn't it?
It's like
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Super ripe.
feel like I have to, they look like different cheeses. I mean, it's very pretty. A little bit of blue-green mold going on the surface as well.
Oh, good luck if you can pull out anything.
Yeah.
Yes, very smudgy, sticking to itself. Okay.
Okay.
Mmm. It smells nutty, meaty.
Nutty, meaty, yeah. Interestingly, also it tastes like what it smells like.
Mmm.
You know, there's that lovely kind of warmth to it, and it's
Mm.
quite kind of soft but quite intense, and it's not. Um, there's no kind of pungency to it, so it's really, really nice.
Mm. It's very savory.
Mm. This is when you need your crusty bread and
Yeah.
Mm. Got that umami
yeah,
hit.
oh, loads of umami notes to it. Beautiful.
Mm.
All right. This is a cheese when you, as you said earlier, you look at it and think, will this travel home with me safely?
Yeah.
And if it will, I'll take it, kind of thing. So, wow, really nice.
Okay, so appearance, what do we think then?
Very unique. I don't know how replicable. Tanya, is yours like pink on one side and yellow on the other?
And mine is, yeah, a bit of a, I don't know, you can see a bit of pink, a bit of orange. It's falling apart. If I keep it any more longer out of the box, it's going to run.
Right. Yeah, mine is a bit more, has a bit more structural integrity.
Yeah.
So mine is, but it's beautiful. Like maybe I'll take a picture. Like it's I've got cheese all over my hands, so it's gonna get covered in cheese. But there we go.
I like that fact that your cheese has got a bit of integrity in it. Mine is losing its completely. I'm going to box it back. Probably a perfect cheese for the weekend. Eh? What's the weather like for you guys where y'all are?
Nice. It's been sunny today, yeah.
Does that make it any clearer?
I see what you mean, yeah.
I think,
How's it out with you, Tony? Nice?
yeah, really good. It's been really good for the last 2, 3 weeks over here for a change, so
Yeah.
can't complain. I
Yeah.
think we both have the same cheese in the sense of the colors coming through. There is
Yeah.
a tinge
Love
of blue
colour.
molds and everything. In
Yeah.
I think ripeness wise, because it's traveled 300 miles more than yours, it's
Right.
ripened a bit more.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I got lucky there. So I think visually I love it. It's wild.
Good, very
It's
good.
yeah, it's cool. I haven't seen a cheese like that. So I will give it, I don't know, 9.
Yeah, let's give it a yeah.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. Aroma.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's not too strong, quite delicate, but when I look at it and I smell it, I want to eat it. So another 9 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Texture.
Really good, very balanced, great on the mouth, silky, soft, really nice, clean. Another 9, 10.
Yeah, 9. Let's do 10. I think
10.
it had
10?
its texture was it was very, I don't know, I think maybe you and I, Tanya, are a bit biased. We like the ripe cheeses.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then flavor.
Another 10.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you can mark me down if you want.
No, no.
Yeah.
I like, yeah. I give, and I was surprised because I was worried. I don't know, something about the how wild it looked. I was wondering sometimes they come with bitter, like that the first
Correct.
cheese, the first really, really wild looking one. And
Yeah.
I had some baggage from that about
Yeah.
bitterness.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
I didn't. This has proved that wrong.
Okay, appearance. Oh no, sorry. Next cheese is well, the last cheese in this category is F91194.
wow,
Ooh,
looks very kind of
Oh, look at
cute.
that.
quite delicate. So is this becoming a trend now? A lot of British cheesemakers using wooden boxes to get their cheeses out. Is that right?
I think you're seeing more and more now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a few that I've seen today that I've not seen before. Like this one, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Ooh,
It's new format of packaging that we
Yeah,
like cheese. Oh, super.
finally made it to this country.
yeah.
Absolutely. Doesn't look absolutely like really
Oh wow, look at that.
very delicate. Almost like a San Marcelin style, like
To
beautiful.
look at the top, when you
Yeah,
look straight through the top, it looked like it could be almost be quite firm. But then when you're seeing it like that, it looks like it's actually very soft.
very, very soft. Very soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at the edges there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
just
cute. It's a very cute cheese.
think once we cut open, this is going to run.
Oh yeah. Ooh, we don't have long.
Mm.
Ah, ah. Very light.
Jeez.
How's
Mm-mm. Oh no. And I ran out of blue towel.
Oh no.
It's
So
okay.
how's the texture?
Very light.
Very light. Pure, silky, soft. Um, just kind of a lovely kind of soft fudgy center, which kind of complements that silkiness. The rind is quite delicate also. It's not too strong. It's not really coming too heavy in the mouth, which is quite nice.
Yeah, it's got that kind of very, very light bitter. You know, like an artichoke, a cooked artichoke has a bitter, but it doesn't it's not very strong. It's not like a
It's not
chicory
offensive.
bitter.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it has that. It's like the kind of bitter that when if you drink water, it makes water taste sweet.
Oh, okay.
I felt taste-wise needed a bit more salt or something.
Yes. I think
Um, you know what I mean? It's just become a bit soft and it stops somewhere.
I wonder if some of the bitter is just a slight lack of salt.
Yeah.
But it's not, as in it's still nice. And I know why the cheesemaker, I think, and this is just a hunch I have, is that the cheesemaker has deliberately, the low salt is deliberate.
Right.
And it does give rise to like this very slight bitterness that
Very
I think maybe in this cheese and this style of cheese, I think potentially just completely my preference, prefer slightly more salt.
Yeah.
It's very delicate and
Very
cute.
delicate and beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so appearance-wise, what do we think, team?
9, 10.
Pardon me. Yeah, 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay, and then aroma, what do we get on the nose?
It's pretty delicate aroma. I very much like the cheese. I'd go with another 8 or 9.
Yeah, 9.
9? And then texture?
I love the texture. I think the texture is it's
I love the way you
really
said
lovely
that.
attribute of it. So I would say 10.
10?
Yeah, go for 10, yeah.
And then flavor.
This is where I would mark it down a bit. What would you?
I don't know, 8 or 9. I
Yeah.
don't know. Is that not enough?
No, no, that's good. That's good. 8?
8?
8. Let's go.
Yeah?
8. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is at the end of that category, lovely people. The winner of the category, well, we've actually got a tie.
Or is that
So you've
between the orange cheese and the second cheese, third cheese?
No, so the fourth cheese, which is F91046.
Oh no, which one was that?
1046.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was that? Was that? Oh yeah, okay. One of these.
And then cheese 1101.
1, 1, 0.
1, 1, 0, 1. Oh, yeah, the one in the wooden box.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 1101. I thought I had
So
it in my hand. I knew we'd scored this highly.
So they both came in with 44.
Okay.
You have also got you've actually got 3 other cheeses that came in with 43.
Are we allowed to have that?
Yeah, you can. Of course you can. Yeah, I'm just saying the option is you could taste all of them again and try and decide if you want to change any of them, or if you're happy to stick with the 2 you've picked at 44 and those 2 could go through. Yeah, you can send 2 through if you want.
I'd like to look at the other 3 if that's okay, Jade, with you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the other 3 are 1053.
1053.
1, 0. Oh yeah, the super ripe. That's in your 5-3. Sorry. Yeah,
Ooh.
the brie that was really good and super ripe.
And then you've got 1158.
Oh yeah, the orange one,
Yeah,
the
I
wash
already.
orange one.
Okay.
And then second to last, which was 1192, which was, I think, that washed rind one.
Yeah, in the wooden tub.
In
Yeah.
the wooden tub, yeah.
1192.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are your top 5 in essence.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say the difference, so right there. So on the top 2, one of them scored a 9 in texture and one of them scored a 9 in aroma. So that was the difference in those 2. Which one are you both trying now?
Which one are you trying, Tony?
I am not. I'm just looking at them.
All right.
I'm just looking at my mental notes of thinking of 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 cheeses that we have. I mean, vaguely, if you remember the one that we tried, which was where everything was breaking down and it was super balanced taste and ripeness and everything. The looks looked very kind of mature. Everything. Wash rind. This was amazing. This was super good. I'd be quite happy to put the 4 together and rethink of 1046, but I'm quite happy to put all 5 through. What do you think, Jane?
I don't know. Can we put 5 through?
I don't know. Can
Even
we?
I don't know that.
All right.
Let's try and put 5 through.
I'll have to check.
For me, somewhere really, I was really hoping 1044, the third cheese, would come through, but maybe we've scored it.
10. Which one were you hoping?
1044. It was our
That's
first
the
cheese
the
of second cheese of the
second cheese.
category.
That got 41.5.
1044.
Oh, wow.
That's fine. That's coming home with me for dinner tonight.
I feel like that should count for something.
So what do you
Right.
think of the 5 finalists that we have? How many should we be sending through?
I've just messaged the bosses to see if, I mean, I'm assuming we can put 5 through. I don't see why we can't.
It might mess things up for them. Oh well.
Well,
I'd
no,
say-
because it'll just go through to the category finals, and if there's ones that are that good, then it's not a bad thing that they're getting tasted.
Yeah.
Say if we have to shortlist, Jane, which one would you choose? This little one definitely. And
Yeah.
1011.
10. 1011.
Do you mean 1101?
Sorry, 110. Sorry.
Oh, 1101.
1101.
1101, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the like it's funny because these two bloomies, one is like it tastes more like a kind of brie style, and the other one tastes more like a camembert style.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like quite difficult, and they're both like beautiful examples of their style. And I
So 1101, you gave 40.
1101 we love.
And
Yeah.
then 1046 is one of your bloomy rinded brie styles, and was your other 44. So that was your other highest scoring.
And then so those two, and then there's the other, I guess the other 3, 1053, 1158, and 1192. Those are the other ones that the second place ones, right?
Yeah, so they're all on 43 then ones, yeah.
So I mean, oh, that's so hard. I'm now like
I'm just waiting to see.
hallucinating.
So between us, if we choose two, Jane, so we've got the 1101 that's in the little tub, the fresh one.
Yeah.
And if you have to choose one from the others, what would you?
Which one?
Yeah. The square orange one, the 1158, or the round in a box that was 1192. Again, 2 wash lines, or the 2 breeze here.
Why don't we get it down to 3? And then if I can put the other 2 through, when I find out, I'll put them through if you're happy with that.
Cool.
Yeah?
Cool.
Okay. So if it was going to be one, I would probably choose. It would be, I think, although I like the bright orange wash rind one, I think the slightly sandy rind, I would worry it wouldn't get further.
Cool.
Right.
So maybe the 53, 1053, or 1192. So between those, obviously the 1053, the camembert style, that is like very, very perfect, technically great cheese. And then, but I think this one is like the left field wild choice, which excites me.
Okay.
So let's do 1192 and 53.
Yeah.
Is that okay? So we got the
Well,
wash.
that's now 4 cheeses.
No.
Oh,
you've got so
instead
far.
instead of 4, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, so you would do these 2 instead of
1, 2,
that one.
and so 1 wash rind, 1 brie, and 1 fresh.
That's 3. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
So you're thinking we're going to go 1101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go 1053.
Yep. Are
and
you
then
happy with that, Jane?
1192.
5-3?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you're happy with the 1192, Jane?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the three cheeses going through to the category finals on the 10th of June will be 1053, 1101, and 1192. I would like to thank Butlers for sponsoring our aprons and Miller's Damsons for being our cracker sponsor. I would like to thank these two fantastic people because that was a slog of a journey, but there were some amazing cheeses, wasn't there? Some really good cheeses. And obviously, thank you for your expertise and for taking the time out to do this. And we will be doing the category finals on Tuesday, the 10th of June, and our grand final live on Wednesday, the 11th of June. At which point we'll be revealing the best cheese in the country, as well as some awards to recognise some of the amazing, fantastic, hardworking people in this cheese industry. And the Supreme Champion will be announced. What more do you want? So thank you again, guys. And we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
See ya.